What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and I think this is the first time I'm doing something like this. Quote me if I'm wrong, but I think I wanted to do it for Sun Avalon, and I didn't. But anyways, what I'd like to do now, if I can, and I might have to get caught up on a few different archetypes, but this is the new Amazement Archetype, and I'm going to try to just go through all the cards and see if I like them or not. I've seen this little archetype be used with trap tricks. I don't think anyone's using this pure just quite yet. I haven't really looked at the cards too much just yet, so I'm going to go through them now and give you my opinion on these cards. So we can just get right into it. This is Amazement Administrator. As far as I've seen, like, this is the only card, like, main deck monster card that people like, but let's go ahead and look at it. You can only use each of the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. And there's 3 effects, so you can use either one of these. Interesting. You can only use each of the first and second effect. Oh, so you can use both of these effects. Okay. First of all, if a trap is activated, you can special summon this card from your hand. So I'm pretty sure this is a trap-based archetype, so that shouldn't be too difficult. If your opponent normal special summons a monster, so just anything, you can target one of those monsters. It is targeting, but that's fine for the most part. Equip 1 attraction trap from your deck to that monster. So we'll have to see what those traps do. I'm going to go ahead and guess that they, negate effects or something. Well, let's see. And the third effect, so you can use each of these 2 effects, and then this one was once per turn. So I'm guessing that because this is like during your opponent's turn, that's why the wording is the way it is. But third effect, once per turn, you can banish any number of attraction traps from your graveyard, then target that many cards your opponent controls, destroy them. I'm probably gonna assume that they don't have any sort of recursion, the trap cards, so that's like a way to get use out of them. It kind of reminds me of Raid Raptors with the new rank up card, because most of the time your Raid Raptor cards are just dead in your graveyard. So by banishing them, they technically are a resource, quote unquote, which is cool. This is obviously the main monster. I mean, it's like the cover card, I guess, of the archetype, and it is good. No matter what the traps do, because good traps can always come out. At face value, I think this is a good effect. This is Amazement Ambassador Bufo, sure. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Okay. So I guess if you have double summon, and you normal summon this twice, you get to use the effect twice, sure. But when this card is normal summon, you can target 1 attraction trap in your graveyard and 1 monster your opponent controls. Equip that trap to that monster. So after I just said there's no recursion, it looks like there's a little bit of recursion. It's just such a dead card going first, so maybe this is a card that you side, but I mean, theoretically, there's so many different cards you probably want to side. I don't know. And the second effect, you can target one of your attraction traps that is equipped to a monster. Quick effect, equip it to an amazement monster you control or an opponent's face-up monster. So I guess you can switch it to either your or the other monster. I don't know if this archetype has any link monsters. So I don't know. I almost feel like that's worth looking at. Yeah, it just stinks, man. It's such a dead card going first. Although I guess technically, no. I mean, you gotta have a pretty set up board. It's okay. It's okay. I'll have to see the rest of the archetype to say if it's as bad as I think it is. This is Amazement Tour Guide. That's hilarious. Okay. I doubt that's what it'll be named in the TCG. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. When this card is normal summon, you can set 1 attraction trap from your deck. So this is like a Rhoda. That's pretty good, I would say. I like that one. You can target and then the second effect, you can target one of your attraction traps that is equipped to a monster. Quick effect, equip it to an amazement monster you control or an opponent's face-up monster. So I guess both of these have that same second effect, and this one's way better. So assuming you're not going pure, I would toss this in the bin and just maybe use Tour Guide as a play starter. I don't know. It's good to get access to any of your, the traps in the archetype. This is a quick play spell. Interesting. This is Amazing Time Ticket. Pay 800 life points. Apply one of the effects. Okay. I wonder if there's like a pay life points effect. But your turn, add 1 amazement card from your deck to your hand. Or during your opponent's turn, set 1 attraction trap from your deck. It can be activated this turn. That's really good. That's obviously going to be a 3-of, assuming any of the traps are good. It's a search or a set, and you can activate during your opponent's turn. And I'm assuming, again, that the traps have some... What I'm hoping, or what I'm scared of, is that the traps just like make your opponent lose attack points, but I doubt it. I mean, we're talking about going into 2021, so I don't think it'd be that bad. This is another quick play spell, Amazement Special Show. When your opponent activates an effect by targeting an amazement monster you control, you can target one of those amazement monsters, return it to the hand. Then you can summon one amazement monster from your hand. Your opponent has to target... You have to have another amazement monster in your hand, so late game, this probably isn't that good. I'm going to go ahead and say that's not going to be played, which is okay. Not every card in Archetype has to be amazing. This is the field spell, because every new archetype has a field spell. Amazement Precious Park. You can only use each of the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, you can activate one attraction trap that was the turn it was set, which is nice going second. That's good. And second, during the end phase, you can send one of your attraction traps that is equipped to a monster to the graveyard, then target one of your attraction traps that is in your graveyard or banished with a different name, set that target. Is this worth playing, to be honest with you? I mean, if you don't... I mean, you're probably going to draw an attraction trap, but it has to be equipped to... I mean, I guess the idea is that you activated that turn going second. And also, and then you have to have another attraction trap in your graveyard for the second effect. I guess you're really using this for the first effect. I don't know if I'm sold on that, because one of them already does, one of the quick play spells that already has a good effect, like, can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's also not going to be very popular. Here we are to the main attraction of the deck, obviously, and that is the trap card. So this is Amazement Family Phase. It's a normal trap. You can only activate this card once per turn. Activate by targeting one monster your opponent controls that is equipped with your attraction trap. Equip it to this card. Okay. Activate by targeting one monster your opponent controls that is equipped with your attraction trap. Equip it to it. So this is like double equiption. Take control. Oh, okay. You can only activate this card once per turn. So I'm assuming you can just take control of it. Forever, too. The equipped monster gains 500 attack and is treated as an amazement monster, but it cannot activate its effects. It cannot activate effects. Okay. Is this like part of the condition? Activate by targeting one monster your opponent controls that is equipped with your attraction trap. Equip this card to it. Take control of the equipped monster. So I guess this is like a lineage of like effects. So it has to have already been equipped with something. That might be easy, that might be hard. Taking control of a monster is great, and you don't have to give it back during the end phase, which is even better. It's like Crackdown, but you can actually attack with it. This is Cyclone Coaster. That's cool. I like the art on this. It's like this is probably my favorite one. This is a long one. These are all normal traps. You can only use the second effect of this card named once per turn. Alright, so activate by targeting one amazement monster you control or one monster your opponent controls. Equip this card to it. Very nice. Apply the following effect depending on the controller of the equipped monster. If you control it, you can target one spell or trap your opponent controls. Send both that card and this card to the graveyard. Great way to get rid of Mystic Mind. That's the first thought I have, but there's tons of effects. It doesn't target, which is just really nice. So if your opponent has Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, you can still get rid of Eternal Soul, which is great. If it's an opponent's monster, you can add one amazement monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, send this card to the graveyard. That's not that good, because I don't think you're going to... It's just too much setup, unless you do it during like your own turn, and then you can normal summon that card, but then you're just kind of going backwards in my opinion. But that's okay. Looks like there's another one, but maybe we don't have the card art for it just yet. This is Wonder Wheel. Activate by targeting one amazement monster you control and one monster your opponent controls. Equip this card to it. Alright, apply the following effects depending on the control of the equipped monster. If you control that monster during the main phase, place one card from your hand on the bottom of the deck, then draw one card. Meh. Opponent, switch the attack and defense. I told you that's what I didn't want. But the other trap cards are pretty good. That one you're not going to be using at all. This is Majestic Manege. Sure. Even if first of all, even if this was just a upstart goblin, I still wouldn't use it. It's too slow, and it's not worth it. Activate this card by targeting one amazement monster you control or one monster your opponent controls. Equip this card to it. Apply the following effects depending on the controller of the equipped monster. If you control it, the equipped monster gains 500 attack. If the equipped monster would be destroyed, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. Okay, so it's a equipped card. I thought it would be continuous, but if it's an opponent's monster, they lose 500 attack for each of your equipped attraction traps. Again, I don't know, man. I don't think... if you need a bunch of attack, I just feel like it's not going to come from inside this archetype, and it's not worth it to play these cards. There's going to be so many times where you're going to want to do other things, like negate effects. So I'm also going to say that that's one that you're not going to use. There's a lot of traps in this. That's great. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. This is Rapid Racing. Again, a really cool card art. Activate by targeting one amazement monster you control. Same thing. And apply these effects. If you control a monster, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard. Change the equipped monster's battle position. If you do, shuffle that card into the deck. Meh. Maybe this is a side deck card. If it's an opponent's monster, increase the equipped monster by 1. And if you do, change its battle position. Not feeling that one either. I don't think you're going to be using that too often. It is good to shuffle a card back, but really. And then this is Horror House. And you can only use second effect. Target a monster, equip it. It's either yours or your opponent's. If you control a monster, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects during the end of the turn. Okay, so that's weird. This is a good one. This is the best trap card for sure. If you target to your own monster, you can target an effect monster your opponent controls to negate its effects. You almost think it would be the other way around. But it's great because if you target the opponents, it chucks it face down in defense position. This is obviously going to be the 3 of. That's one of the best ones. I think the first one I also liked. Taking control of it. So there's at least 2 good ones. And there's also the one that gets rid of spells and traps. So 3 of them are pretty good. Overall, I'm not too impressed because there isn't an extra deck yet. But I like the core of what it is here. This is one of the better new archetypes that I've seen. And next I'll probably go over the Ice Barrier structure deck because I'm just so bummed out about it. And I'll probably end up comparing it to those custom cards I ended up making. But in any case, that's the Amazement Archetype. Let me know what you guys think about it. If you think that what will be best to pair up with this other than maybe trap tricks. I'll probably do a little bit of experimenting here and there and see what I can make up with it. But other than that, guys, that's going to do it for today's video, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day.